Hello friends, today you kind of look something different right now. I have headphones that I'm currently using because unfortunately my other headphones have broken down during my holiday vacation, and I also have an AirPod actually, but it still has some low battery, so I'm just gonna use my gigantic headphones for the time being. So today friends, today's video is going to be the darkest TikTok iceberg part 2 by which unfortunately this video, as you can see within the screen, it's currently the following content may contain suicide and self-harm topics, which unfortunately I'm going to be flagged on this video. And if this is the type of videos that you don't prefer or feel uncomfortably, you can just exit this video, and which may be of course harmful for people that be watching on this type of videos. So viewer discretion is advised. So yeah friends, before I'm going to play this video, hopefully as I said before, you can like and subscribe to this video so that you can support my content moving in the future. So here it is friends, I already accepted what I'm going to watch here, even though from the unfortunately harmful warning. And also thank you for all your support, and let's get right into it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the darkest TikTok iceberg part 2. My most requested video ever on my channel. The last one completely blew up with 800,000 views. So thank you guys so much, because the last time I made the iceberg, we were at 85,000. Now we're closing in on 150,000 subscribers. So if you like my personality by the end of this video, make sure to subscribe, and maybe you could watch the 100,000 celebration, hopefully, because the goal for that one is 50,000 views and 10,000 likes. Anyway, I'm not gonna explain how an iceberg works because this is part 2. Also want to mention that just like last time, this list is not gonna be from most known to least known. It is gonna be from most tame to most gruesome. Be sure to credit me. A lot of people have been reacting to my old video and they don't credit me in the description. Only one channel did that, so please, if you're gonna react to this, credit me. Also, I want to
I always credit my videos, so no worries, Stav. I got you covered, my homie.
You guys know I'm not only an iceberg channel. I know a bunch of you found me through that part 1, but I am not an iceberg channel. I love making,
and I think majority of like iceberg channels are usually also very very popular, and people only solely watch for that type of content.
morbid videos basically. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe. But
Same.
I make whatever I want. So if you guys like my personality, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's get started with the iceberg part 2. The tip. Faking disabilities part 2. Last time we talked about faking disabilities, we spoke about this man that was just pretending to be disabled in general. There was no specific disorder that he was faking. It was just, he didn't even explain it. That's how bad it was. But you guys were telling me in the comments that a lot of people fake Tourette syndrome and multiple personality disorder, aka DID. I always knew about these, but the reason I didn't include it in the original video is because I didn't want to call anyone out in case I called out the wrong person, and let's just say that person actually does have Tourette's. I would look like a horrible person. But luckily, someone was called out, and they were called out because they were faking Tourette's and they were caught. A user by the name of @TixandRoses was caught faking Tourette's. So this person would make TikToks showing their daily struggles dealing with this disorder. Though when they had a tic attack, this person was smiling throughout the experience. If you know anyone that has had a tic attack, you know that it's a painful and irritating experience, not something that you smile about and get giddy about. Anyway, this person was found out to be faking this because 1, people with real Tourette's were calling them out, and 2, they had a second account focused on crystals, energy, and astronomy, where, surprise, they had no tics at all throughout these TikToks, and the live streams on that TikTok account. Eventually, their sister posted on Reddit explaining that they had never shown any signs of tics as children. She goes on to explain that they want nothing to do with the family anymore, but they are mentally ill. Now, in the case of multiple personality disorder, aka dissociative identity disorder, there are a bunch of posts on the subreddit called r/fake disorder cringe, where a bunch of users are being called out. However, I'm not going to be calling out any specific users for the multiple personality disorder because I simply don't want to. But what I will say is, if there are people faking Tourette's, I'm sure there are a bunch of other people faking all kinds of disorders on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are going to use like faking type of disorders just for easy clout on the internet, unfortunately.
Cryptic Translations. In late 2020, early 2021, users found out that typing re into the comment section and then clicking translate would lead to creepy messages such as, "It's crying, it's weeping. Cry, what is the meaning of the word? It cries out behind you. Suffering, it's all right." At first, I thought people were just changing the code or, basically glitching out the TikTok system in order to make these comments look creepy. But no, it was a genuine glitch. that anyone could do. You could type it out and it would translate to
Really?
that. But trying it out
Interesting.
now in 2021, it seems like it has been patched by TikTok. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I got it to work on one comment, if that means anything. But the question is why? Why does re translate to these odd translations? According to Google Translate, the word re and its variations could be translated to Maori, an endangered language spoken by one of the indigenous tribes of New Zealand. According to the Maori dictionary, the word re means to be angry, annoyed, or enraged. It does not mean Rihanna. The word ear, on the other hand, is detected as Shona, or I'm not going to pronounce that, I'm going to butcher that,
Sure.
one of the native languages of Zimbabwe and South Africa. So at the end of the day, it seems like TikTok was going off the Maori definition of re, but it would like glitch out because it interferes with the other languages, leading to some very messed up translations.
Interesting.
Confused_me too. Confused_me too is a TikTok account that one of you guys said I should include. So while editing this video, the account actually got taken down. But I think I described it with enough details for you guys to understand what's going on. So I'm just gonna put some stock images as I talk about the account. Also, I really want this in the iceberg because I want to let you guys know to not believe everything you see on TikTok. The account only has 2 posts, and one of them shows someone squirming around in a garbage bag, and the other shows a river. The song playing in the background is I Feel Fantastic by Tara the Singing Android, a video we covered on the Darkest YouTube Iceberg. Anyway, the watermark says the video belongs to Devin KB816, but it seems that account has been deleted. I do think this is fake because, I mean, come on, it just looks so staged. It's like some teenagers just wanted to prank the TikTok community. And also, if you were a real murderer, first of all, you wouldn't upload this. Second, if that person in the bag shouldn't have their feet out because then you can see their skin color. Now you can tell that they're a light-skinned person. All the community in that area would have to do is see who's been missing recently that can match that skin color and, you know, probably trace it back. And that was just me thinking about that. Imagine what detectives would be able to do. So yeah, I wanted to include this on this list on the tip because, guys, don't believe everything you see.
Not only that, you can get detected by, you know, some specialized equipment, or even triangulate your account, even looking up your IP address to know your location. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff people can do to find you
on TikTok. And imagine like I mess up, this actually is like real.
Yeah.
Suffocating flies trend. In 2020, a new trend began emerging where users would trap flies in syringes and squeeze the bottom, alluding to the idea of the fly being squished to death. Most of the times they wouldn't squish the fly, at least on video, but sometimes they would actually post it. This is a rare case where someone actually claims they made the trend. The user goes by DJSHBDBDB, and his bio read, "Squishing fly at 50k. I really started a fly and syringe trend now." This user has since changed his name and gotten banned due to violating community guidelines. I saw some people arguing in the comment section saying, wow, Gen Z is so soft, we're really protecting flies now, but like, that's not the point of the argument. No shit, we all kill flies when they're flying around in our room. But it's just really stupid when people do shit like this for clout. Like, dog, everyone kills flies, but it takes a special kind of person to trap a fly, put it in a syringe, start squeezing the bottom of it, and then post it for TikTok clout and make your bio, "Squishing fly at 50k.
Yeah, it's like, it's more like, it's really just very cruel in the end of the day. And not only that, you're using the cruelty of your actions to show towards a lot of people, you know. It's just very disgusting. Of course, we all kill flies. Even I kill flies, especially mosquitoes. But in the end of the day, you know, it's very like, I guess, instantly if you use like, you know, electric stuff that, I think they call that electric way to electrify the mosquitoes. I don't know what those tools is called. It's either that or something that is experimental, I guess.
The surface. Skinwalker Dog. Before I get into this, let's go over the definition of Skinwalker. In Navajo culture, a Skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. One day, a woman posted a TikTok of her dog opening the door from inside the
It's kind of weird because I've been hearing a lot of Indian types of mythologies and stories, and I don't know why, but it's very interesting to find them most likely almost all of their cryptic and, you know, monsters. They kind of like always have a way to disguise within the people, so they kind of always changes to people, or either type of weird monsters. It's kind of very interesting if they have that type of theme, because in those type of stories it's not very common.
Disguise themselves as an animal. One day, a woman posted a TikTok of her dog opening the door from inside the bathroom. She screams, "Oh my god," as the dog looks at her and closes the door again. The comments were full of people telling her that her dog was a skinwalker. Look, if the doorknob was spherical, I would be creeped out too. But the owners then showed that the doorknob was one of those lever type doorknobs. So,
Okay.
that's how the dog opened the door. There is a whole community on TikTok dedicated to finding skinwalkers, but let's be honest, most of them are
That
fake
must
or
have,
just
yeah.
misunderstood. Bolivia college incident. The Bolivia college
But it's
incident.
kind of but it's kind of weird because I do really love like those cryptic. When I was young, I always like watched all those creepy story videos, and I always thought they were real. Growing up, it's like but there are still some darker stuff that humans can do, you know. So I think the real monsters here is living within us. Creepy.
Or just misunderstood. Bolivia college incident. The Bolivia college incident is another one of those situations where users would just upload these shock videos onto TikTok until they get taken down, because that's how a lot of you guys told me you guys found this video. Anyway, this clip showed a bunch
Huh?
of college students on the 4th floor all cluttered up together. Eventually, the railing
Oh,
breaks and students
yeah.
begin falling to their deaths. It's so scary seeing this one girl about to fall to her death, but is pulled up by a colleague. Usually I
Yes, like I like the moment like I saw them like very crammed near to the railing, it's like, oh my god. I'm pretty sure also there's some poor engineering from making that type of railing, bro. I mean, the one who made that railing is gonna get fired from that.
know about these shock videos that go around, but I had no idea that this even happened. So thank you
Yeah.
guys for informing me. Also, to the people posting this to get clout or likes or just shock value, you're fucking weird, bro. You're a weird piece of shit. The
Yeah.
body.
Oh
TikTok
shit.
day. April 24th, 2021 was no longer a normal day. Instead, it became TikTok's day.
Well, I guess we're going now from the darker road from here on out. So, man, we're still not half of the video, and it's already dark as shit.
Sure you all remember this because the news seemed to
Like,
have went mainstream, considering my mom was talking to me about it because it was being talked about on Univision. But yes, this was supposed to be a day where guys would go out and
wait, on your vision, is he Canadian? Does he live in Canada? Because he seems to know his French.
talked about on Univision. But yes, this was supposed to be a day where guys would go out and girls? I don't think anything happened though. I read a lot of articles about
Okay.
it, but no one really said anyone
Oh,
got hurt. At least I hope so. I hope no one got hurt on April 24th. The person who started this trend can't really be traced. It didn't seem like there was a person. It seemed like it was just a community that did it all at once. So yeah.
mm,
Update on cat killer's identity.
killer.
In part 1, we
Yeah.
talked about the lady cat killer that would go on Omegle with the tag furry from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and would show off skinned and burned cats. She would also go on TikTok basically having fun that she wasn't caught. And in the video, I said that the authorities did get involved, but I did not mention who she was because I thought the internet never found out, which was stupid of me because this is the internet. The cat killer was found out to be
Ah,
Crystal Cherica Scott, a 19-year-old woman in Indiana who apparently sold animal crush videos on the internet. She would go on websites looking
that's
for
so
families that were
disgusting.
giving away their pets and then proceed to kill them on
Oh
video.
my
When
god.
searching her home, FBI agents recovered numerous animal parts and skulls that were
Oh,
consistent of the size of cats and dogs. Agents also discovered approximately 3 live dogs, 12 live cats, and several lizards. Scott is facing up to 7 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a maximum fine of $250,000.
with a hair like that, you know there's a serial killer within them.
Foreigner
Within him.
challenge. So the foreigner challenge is something I witness people talking
I'm
about,
pretty sure.
but
I mean,
never.
I'm pretty sure when I say them, I'm pretty sure I accurately say his gender.
So the foreigner challenge is something I witness people talking about, but never saw any of the videos themselves. I mean, thank God, because this seems horrible. So this was a trend that started in April of 2020, where people would post compilations, like little fan edits of themselves, basically, with Pop Smoke's song "Foreigner" playing in the background. Rest in peace, Pop
Okay.
Smoke. You cannot say pop and forget the smoke. Except the people in these edits would put their into these edits, which is already weird for
Oh,
TikTok. I
see.
mean, that's against community guidelines. But the reason this foreigner challenge blew up was because the main people doing this were
Oh
minors.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, little
Oh my god.
girls. I don't know why. I don't know either.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god. That's so weird.
But
Oh.
basically, a bunch of like bigger TikTok influencers were just like
Oh.
calling this out and telling like people to report these videos right when they saw them, and
Yeah.
trying to stop it basically. And I guess it worked because I've never seen one. I've
Oh
never
yeah.
seen one to this day. Again, thank God I haven't.
Thank God.
Suitcase murders. In the summer of
Oh shit. The moment I heard like suitcase murders, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit of like heart pressure, like hearing all of this shit, happen, especially on TikTok. But I'm pretty sure this is the bad side of TikTok. I'm pretty sure there's not that much bad things happening on TikTok, at least, and I hope and I guess, and especially today's TikTok, because I'm pretty sure it's already have been cleaned out, but sometimes like trends like these or stuff like this, bubble up somewhere, and unfortunately they reveal itself, and it's so disgusting, man, so disgusting.
Of 2020, teenagers were using an app called Randonautica. This app provides you with totally random coordinates within a set radius. You can then choose if you'd like to adventure to that point. Honestly, it seems like a fun app. I might even download it after this video. No, this is not a sponsor. But in this case, these teens were
Okay.
led to some rocks on the
Oh,
beach. While there, they discovered a suitcase that they said smelled horrible. After recording some of it, they called the police, and authorities later discovered that there were human remains inside of that
yeah.
suitcase. The man was 27-year-old Austin Winter, who was killed by a gunshot wound. Police also connected this to another body they had found a month before near the same location. And that body belonged to 35-year-old Jessica Lewis, who was his girlfriend and died from multiple gunshot wounds. The killer hasn't been found to this day. Also, the family's
What?
GoFundMe is linked down in the description in case
That's so
anyone
sad.
wants to visit it and donate.
So
Abyss.
sad. Oh my god. Oh, wait, what does TW means? Is this some kind of a warning? Or is this the title of the next topic? Because I've also seen this in the previous stuff, but I'm pretty sure this is a warning that this stuff is going to happen within this topic. But it's kind of unfortunate that the previous, topic didn't like find the true killer between those type of people, between those two couples. It's kind of unfortunate.
TikTok Bangladesh human
Just
trafficking. In June of this
oh,
year, Bangladeshis were shocked when they saw a video circulating on WhatsApp. The video showed an almost 4-minute clip of a woman being gang and tortured by 4 men and 1 woman. Authorities got involved and were able to save this woman, which was a victim of human trafficking. The reason this is on the iceberg is because a popular TikTok influencer who went by the name of Babo not only raped and trafficked the women in the video, but also would use his social media clout to lure 50 other women into a cross-border human trafficking ring between Bangladesh and India. Traffickers use
oh my
TikTok
god.
and Facebook groups to find women in Bangladesh. They were lured to India under the false premise of either shooting videos or finding employment. And that's sick. Imagine like
So
a
sick.
struggling woman in Bangladesh looking for a job, looking for employment, just to
Yeah.
be lured into one of these.
It's kind of unfortunate too, because here in the Philippines, that's also very common. Because we here in the Philippines, we don't, majority of the people here have no job and no opportunities, unfortunately. They love to read a lot of, jobs and stuff that they go to other places just there for their, passport to get stolen. And they're basically, work there for slavery. And especially majority of them are also from Indonesia. And unfortunately, the poor side, in Southeast Asians, like people, they kind of like use them for cheaper labor or possibly even slavery. You kind of hear this type of news in possibly Dubai, and the way they made all of their stadiums. They're basically using like other poor stuff people and try to transfer them from there. And unfortunately, if they die from there, they can never like the company is not accounted by that, because they also like harshly working in the hottest weather there on somewhere in the Middle East or possibly even other countries too. They kind of exploit a lot of these unfortunate people. So sad.
Puberty advice pages. In May of this year, an account on TikTok began gaining traction
Okay.
called Puberty Helper 101. The goal of this page was to help little girls go through puberty and deal with the changes their bodies were going through. But eventually, people found out that the owner behind the account was a grown man. It was even more disturbing when the account posted this: "Hey guys, I'm going to pick 3 of you randomly and DM you and give you my phone number to help you and talk you through anything you need. If any of you would find this helpful, write in the comments and maybe I'll
Oh,
pick you up." What the fuck? This TikTok account was banned shortly after the whole TikTok community
okay.
found out it
Hopefully.
existed. Blackout
Oh my god. Okay, the moment I see like blackout challenge in here, it's like I know where this is gonna go.
challenge. In April of this year, a 12-year-old boy by the name of Joshua passed away due to attempting the quote-unquote blackout challenge. This challenge consisted of choking yourself until you passed out. Joshua's twin
Yeah.
brother ended up finding him unconscious on the bathroom floor. This resulted in Joshua being brain dead and being on life support for 19 days until eventually passing
Oh,
away. Their GoFundMe
it's kind of crazy. Like he survived for a bit of 19 days, but yeah, he didn't unfortunately survive. But usually, friends, when you're getting choked up with your head, you're depriving your brain for oxygen, and yeah, you're gonna die from that because your brain is like dying. So basically, friends, like choking your, like, especially your throat or even your neck from here, you're basically depriving oxygen from yourself and especially within your brain too. your brain is going to literally die because there's no more oxygen and there's no, nutrients that can go towards your brain, especially from the blood. So that unfortunately will knock you unconscious and unfortunately die from it. The longer it will go.
Is also linked down in the description. They're almost near their goal. Their goal is $200,000. Yeah. If you guys want to donate,
It's
then
just
donate. But
unfortunate.
rest in peace to Joshua. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man.
1444 video. The 1444 video is another video that would circulate around TikTok, just like the Ronnie McNutt video and the Bolivia college incident. This 2019 video showed a teenage Russian boy sitting on his couch saying a quote and then shooting himself in the head with a semi-automatic rifle. The way this video got its name is unknown, but I'm sure someone just button mashed, just 1444. But it was actually uploaded to YouTube with the name 1444 and was left up for 3 days. So YouTube just didn't take it down for 3 days straight.
Shoot.
Anyway, the young man in the video went by Gleb, and I'm not gonna pronounce his last name, I'm gonna butcher that. And the story goes, and I quote, according to friends, the young man decided to commit after a quarrel with his girlfriend on the basis of jealousy. Against the backdrop of personal problems, this event became a fatal, irrevocable moment, after which the young man decided on a desperate step. Beloved Gleb was a 17-year-old Muscovite Elsa Gumerova. Girl showed no interest in the last hours of the young man's life, and didn't even go to the broadcast. She refuses to comment on what happened. Yeah, I think that's probably a
That's just very heartbreaking. There's also like a lot of like stories here in my college, even like heartbreaks that unfortunately, people ended themselves. Or not even that. There was a one story too that I don't know who his name was, but here in my college, he unfortunately have no money. I think it was, and then he ended himself. And yeah, I'm not even go towards the details on that, but there was a very interesting thing about a jealousy one too that I heard from my college. It's basically like I think it was I don't know him, but he was like a teenager who loved. No, he was not a teenager. He was an adult. Of course, we're living in college right now. But basically, I think he stabbed one of the person because he was very jealous of from the boy's perspective from the girl. But I don't know what happened on that point. I think the one who gets stabbed unfortunately died from that stab. But I don't know about the story for foremost because I never heard much of the information. But I know the incident did happen that the boy stabbed, the other man because of jealousy, unfortunately.
translated paragraph because the English wasn't that good on that. Please take this as a grain of salt because that was submitted by an anonymous user. He was live streaming this on VK, which is a social media in Russia. Before he commits, he says a quote, and that quote translates to Nikita. If you tell my parents about this too quickly, I'll get you from beyond the grave. I know that you have their phone numbers. Anyway, how does the saying go? Neon Polka. Neon Polka is a reference to another Russian person that also committed. And that person actually laid on train tracks and was, I don't even know how I could say that, but her head came off on the train tracks, and her last post on social media said Neon Polka, and it became like a meme in Russia, I guess. So you say that before you commit. Yeah. To make matters even
Oh, that's kind of sad. It's kind of fortunate too that this kind of beautiful girl too to even ended up it all. Yeah, it's so
worse,
sad,
Gleb's
man.
mother had to manually remove the video from his account. So she had to sign in and delete it because I guess VK just wasn't taking it down.
Oh, what?
Qiumei. Qiumei was an Asian TikTok influencer with over 100,000 followers who was also a crane operator. She would make videos
Oh
showing
yeah,
her daily life
I
and
heard this. I heard this story. It's not gonna end well, man. It's not gonna end well. But I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Let's just see where this will go.
made innocent videos. One day, while live streaming, she accidentally misstepped on the crane and fell 160 feet to her death. There is a video of this, but it doesn't show anything because the phone's just like rapidly spinning in the air. Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to her. I don't know if this was one of the like shock videos where people would just post it on TikTok. I'm sure it was. If you guys are telling me in the comments, I mean, I'm sure people would post this too, which is so fucked up. Stillborn TikTok. Mothers coping with the loss of their unborn children isn't anything new. I guess it just comes to a shock to people when they see it on TikTok or any other form of social media. The loss of a child is a pain I never want to feel, let alone a child that you never got to meet. Most women cope with this loss by holding the child in their arms and pretending that they're alive, even if it's just for a few hours. Usually it's done right after the delivery, I guess. A lot of you guys were telling me about these mothers that go through these traumatic experiences, and I feel like you guys wanted me to really go in on it, but I'm not. It's just these women coping with a horrible scenario. If it's how they cope, then let them, and if you don't like it, then keep scrolling. Even in the case of this one woman everyone was attacking because she seemed quote-unquote happy in her videos. Now, I understand everyone on the internet is gonna have an opinion on a woman holding a dead child, and
It's like, oh man, it's very painful to also like see, you didn't even like see like your own child from that, because we also like from our family we also have an unfortunate miscarriage. So yeah, rest in peace to my little brother, man. He didn't make it, unfortunately. So this was a very tragic to also hear from, this type of stuff. So yeah, it's so interesting. Like majority of like people giving birth have a way that they struggle, because sometimes I do heard a lot of like even my family's closest friends unfortunately die from, giving birth. So I didn't know like giving birth in the process from it is actually very fatal, which is actually kind of crazy. And yeah, it's just so sad to also like lose either the baby or the mother or both of them even altogether. It's sad.
yeah, smiling while holding a dead body is something I'm sure none of us would expect to see, but I hope none of us have to
Yeah,
go through what this woman had gone through. And not only
yeah.
her, but the millions of other women that deal with this that just don't
If you don't know, friends, there's also like some people, especially when it comes to stressful situation, they usually just smile and even laugh in the way that they want. That's basically the way they try to cope in the stressful and unfortunately sad situation. They try to numb themselves from the negative emotions to, just smile or just like laugh. Even it's kind of morbid, but that's the way they unfortunately cope.
post about it. If you see any of these videos on your For You page, don't be rude. Just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero. 16-year-old Sierra Halseth and 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero were dating for some time,
Oh,
but
I saw
Sierra's father
this.
did not approve of their relationship. The reason for the unapproval is
Yeah.
unknown. Perhaps it was the fact that he was 18 and she was 16? Anyway, these two teenagers ended up murdering Sierra's father due to him not
Yeah.
approving of them being together. The creepy part is that they posted this TikTok acting like it was a normal thing to do.
I don't know what to say.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After murdering,
Oh.
day 3 after murdering somebody.
Wow! Don't put that on camera.
The father had been stabbed to death and his body was set on fire. His body was found in his own garage. Cops say Sierra and Aaron then took off in her dad's car right after the event. They were arrested days later 400 miles away in Salt Lake City after apparently trying to dodge a train fare. The teens were also caught on camera buying these tools such as like bleach and other cleaning products, like if they were gonna clean up the murder scene. The teens have been charged with murder but haven't entered a plea. If convicted, Guerrero could face the death penalty. Because she is a minor, Sierra faces life in prison.
Oh.
CP/gore profile pictures. Again, you guys requested this.
Yeah, it's just so sad, man. Also, it's kind of interesting that the other person that unfortunately killed his or her father is a minor. So yeah, I can understand the father's side from this one, but that's just fucking unfortunate, man. Oh my god, it's like imagine your child, a minor in this case, fell in love with with a grown up person just to kill you. Oh man, that's so painful to hear as a story, man. So crazy. Rest in peace from his father, man. He's just doing his best to raise her daughter, but yeah, this was just out of this world, man. You don't hear that every day.
This, but this one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm happy I haven't seen any of these, but you know how on TikTok with there was like an update a couple updates ago where you can now set your profile picture and you can also set like a video profile picture. So I think people were abusing the video profile picture thing, and whenever you would click on their account, it would play a clip of CP or gore, which is so like, bro, why? You're weird. Yeah, I'm assuming there was I don't even that's gross. I don't even want to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it for part 2 of the darkest.
He looks so goofy with the beanie. Or is the hoodie? I don't know, because his ears is outside from the hoodie. He looks like a gremlin. He kind of looks like a gremlin. I should try that actually. That would be very interesting. I wonder how I would look with my ears sticking outside. I can probably do it like this. No. No, my headphones cannot. My headphones cannot. My headphones unfortunately cannot stick with it. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure this is more worse than the other video. Well, the quality of the video is still good because the personality of Tav is always top notch and high quality. But the videos, man, and the topics, whew. This is not flagged and banned by YouTube, but unfortunately this video is also gonna get flagged in YouTube, so I'm sad on that point. But I guess it's just YouTube is just doing the best of their part to hopefully manage this type of dark topics. Unfortunately, even though I'm very fascinated with this type of dark topics, to hopefully inform people and even try to get a warning actually, so that people can be helped from this type of media and being aware of this stuff. But yeah, friends, thank you for watching, and this is Tizona Reacts, and good evening.